After flying cross-country to babysit my sister's kids for free, I found a list taped to the fridge: clean the bathrooms, mow the lawn, paint the fence. When I protested, she rolled her eyes and said, "You owe me for existing." That night, she took my return plane ticket and hid it. 5 days later, I got the sweetest revenge without saying a single word. I'm Matt, 42, male from Columbus, Ohio. I've worked remote the last few years doing project management for a mid-size firm. I live alone, peaceful, low drama. I don't chase trouble. I mind my own business. My sister, Tracy, 38, female, lives in Santa Rosa, California. She's married to a guy named Joel. They have 2 kids, Ethan, 9, and Sophie, 6. Nice kids, but Tracy is another story. She's the kind of person who was born feeling owed. Owed attention. Owed favors. Owed loyalty. She grew up the golden child while I was the background noise. My parents adored her. I was expected to just be there, to help, to fix things, to clean up after her screw-ups. When I graduated high school, I got out fast. Paid for college on my own. Got a job. Built my life. Meanwhile, Tracy stayed close to home, sponging off mom and dad whenever she needed a little help. We stayed in touch, but it was surface level. Holidays. Birthdays. The occasional phone call when she wanted to catch up, which really meant she needed something. Last June, Tracy called crying. I mean full-blown sobbing over the phone. She and Joel had been selected for a conference in Hawaii. Big opportunity, she said. Important for Joel's career. They couldn't afford a nanny. They couldn't take the kids. Could I, please, come watch the kids for 1 week? She promised it would be easy. She promised the kids were low maintenance. She promised she'd pay for my plane ticket, leave money for food, and owe me big time. I had work, but I could do it remotely. And honestly, I felt guilty. She rarely asked for something this serious. I agreed. Big mistake. The problem started the second I landed. My flight to San Francisco was delayed twice. I spent 6 hours sitting in a plastic airport chair next to a guy coughing up a lung. By the time I actually got to California, I was dead tired. Tracy showed up 30 minutes late to pick me up. No apology. No explanation. Just, "Wow, you look rough," followed by a laugh. In the car, I asked a few basic questions about the kids' routines, allergies, anything I needed to know. She waved me off. "You'll figure it out," she said, tapping away on her phone the whole time. My stomach sank, but I told myself, it's just a week. I can survive anything for a week. When we got to her house, she gave me a quick tour: kitchen, kids' rooms, Wi-Fi password scrawled on a sticky note. Then she said, "Oh, one more thing." She led me to the fridge. There was a full-page checklist taped there. Not babysitting instructions. Not emergency contacts. No, it was a chore list. Deep clean both bathrooms, scrub grout, mow front and back lawns, paint the backyard, fence supplies in garage, vacuum and mop all floors, wash windows inside and out, walk and bathe the dog daily, make healthy meals, no processed foods, pick up and drop off, dry cleaning. I just stared at it. She smiled like she'd given me a Christmas present. I said, "Tracy, what is this?" She shrugged. "Well, we're letting you stay here for free. It's only fair you help out." I reminded her I flew out here to babysit for free. Babysitting was the help. She rolled her eyes hard. "You owe me for existing, Matt. Seriously, just chill out. It's not that bad." I wanted to walk out right then. But my flight home was scheduled for the following week. Plus, the kids had already seen me. I couldn't just abandon them. I took a deep breath. Told myself, Focus on the kids. Ignore Tracy. Get through this. The first night went okay. Until I went looking for my return ticket. I had printed my itinerary, flight times, confirmation number, everything, and stuck it in my suitcase. Now it was gone. I tore the room apart. Nothing. I asked Tracy. She smiled sweetly and said, "Oh, I probably moved it somewhere safe. You're not leaving early anyway, so what's the big deal?" I didn't say a word. I just nodded. Inside, I was boiling. Hiding my ticket? Are you serious? The next 5 days were hell. Every morning at 6 a.m. sharp, I woke up to a list of new chores. Texts like, "Can you reorganize the garage too? Paint the garden boxes before it rains. Don't forget to shampoo the carpet." Meanwhile, the kids ran wild. They weren't bad kids, but Tracy had clearly told them I was a servant, not a guest. Sophie spilled a whole bottle of orange juice on the carpet and laughed. "Mom says you have to clean it, not me." Ethan refused to brush his teeth unless I did it for him. They demanded homemade pancakes every morning and threw tantrums if I suggested cereal. I wanted to scream. But I stayed calm. Every time I wanted to snap, I smiled instead. Because I had a plan forming. I wasn't going to argue with Tracy. I wasn't going to beg for my ticket back. I wasn't even going to raise my voice. I was going to wait. And when the time was right, I would hit her where it hurt most, her peace. Her comfort. Her control. By day 3, I realized Tracy wasn't even thinking about the kids. I found a half-written babysitting guide stuffed in a kitchen drawer. It had things like Ethan's allergies, he's allergic to strawberries, would have been great to know, and Sophie's nighttime routine, she needed a nightlight or she'd scream bloody murder at 2 a.m. Tracy hadn't even bothered to finish it. She hadn't left emergency numbers either. No doctor contacts. No list of friends or neighbors. Nothing. I was completely on my own. It got worse. One night, Ethan started crying after dinner. Said his stomach hurt. Real tears, real pain. I panicked. Called Tracy. No answer. Tried Joel. No answer. Finally, after 15 minutes of panic, Ethan threw up in the sink, just some bad spaghetti, thank God. But the rage inside me grew. Not because the kid threw up, kids get sick, whatever. Because his own parents didn't even check their phones. They were probably drinking cocktails on a beach somewhere, bragging about what a great deal they got by tricking me into free labor. Day 4, Tracy started texting me screenshots of little things she wanted fixed around the house. A chipped tile in the bathroom. A loose cabinet hinge. A broken light bulb over the front porch. Not only did she expect me to babysit and clean, she expected me to be her handyman too. When I didn't answer right away, she sent a passive-aggressive message. "Geez, we trusted you to help us, Matt. Guess that was a mistake. SMH. That was the moment I stopped feeling guilty. Stopped trying to be nice. Stopped trying to understand. She didn't want help. She wanted a servant. She thought she could guilt me into anything. I went quiet. Stopped replying to her messages. Did my job, kept the kids alive, fed, entertained, clean. Nothing more. Nothing less. In the background, I kept refining my plan. The real revenge wouldn't be loud. It wouldn't be obvious. It would be quiet. Slow. Infuriating. The kind of revenge that would make her life miserable for weeks without ever letting her pin it on me. Day 5, the kids were getting restless. They missed their parents. Sophie cried at night. Ethan refused to do his online homework. I couldn't blame them. Their parents ditched them with a stranger even if I was family and gave zero instructions. I told them stories at bedtime. I taught them simple games to play outside. I made sure they felt safe, even though I didn't. Because here's the thing, they weren't the villains. Tracy was. The kids deserved better. That night, after the kids went to bed, I did a full sweep of the house. I checked everywhere Tracy might have hidden my return ticket. After nearly an hour of looking, I found it taped to the underside of Tracy's bed frame. Not lost. Not put somewhere safe. Hidden. Like I was a prisoner. I took a photo of it for proof. Put the ticket in my laptop bag. Made sure it would not leave my side. I was getting out of here. And I was making sure Tracy would never forget what she did. The next morning, day 6, I put my plan into motion. I started gently messing with things. I folded all the kids' clean laundry into the wrong drawers. Pajamas with socks. Underwear with swimsuits. I put random kitchen utensils in bizarre places. Whisks in the bathroom cabinet. Tongs in the kids' toy chest. I reversed all the faucet handles to hot/cold backward settings. I turned off notifications for every app on their phones and tablets. I changed every streaming service password, Netflix, Hulu, Prime. Yes, I left a sealed envelope with the new passwords hidden under a bag of frozen peas deep in the freezer. I used Tracy's $80 face cream to lightly buff the toilet seat. It made it shine, to be fair. I tucked the TV remotes into random board game boxes stacked in the garage. I flipped the labels on every spice jar in the pantry. Paprika labeled cinnamon. Oregano labeled basil. I turned off all the personalized settings on their smart home system, like the "Good Night" scene that autolocks doors and dims lights. Nothing broken. Nothing destroyed. Just subtle chaos. Annoyance layered over annoyance. I finished everything an hour before Tracy and Joel's flight landed. I packed my bag, left the house spotless on the surface, and left a handwritten note on the kitchen counter: "Thanks for letting me stay. Everything is done. Hope you enjoy finding it all. No accusations. No swearing. Just quiet satisfaction." I ordered a cab and left for the airport. Boarded my plane home without one last word to Tracy. Turned my phone off. Slept like a baby the whole flight home. When I got home to Ohio, I turned my phone back on. Immediately, it blew up. Texts. Missed calls. Voicemails. All from Tracy. Some from Joel. I didn't listen to the voicemails. I didn't answer the calls. I just read the texts piling up. At first, they were panicked. "Hey, where are you? We just got home and everything's messed up. The TV remotes are missing. I can't find anything in the kitchen." Then angry, "WTF did you do? This isn't funny, Matt. You are so immature." Then desperate, "Please just tell me where the remotes are. Joel is losing his mind trying to fix the thermostat settings. The kids are crying because Netflix won't work." I sat on my couch and smiled. Because this was exactly the point. Not destruction. Not rage. Just pure, slow, exhausting inconvenience. And there was nothing she could accuse me of without sounding crazy. Matt put the spatulas in the bathroom. Matt relabeled my spice jars. She'd sound like a lunatic. By day 2 after I left, the texts changed tone again. Now they were manipulative. "You're so ungrateful after everything I've done for you. Mom and Dad are gonna be so disappointed in you. You owe me an apology." I almost laughed at that one. I owed her an apology. For flying across the country, babysitting her kids for free, cleaning her whole damn house, and getting treated like garbage? Not a chance. Then came the twist I didn't expect. My parents called. But not to yell at me. Mom said, "Tracy's been calling all day complaining." What happened? I stayed calm. I told her everything: the chore list, the missing return ticket, the constant extra demands, the fact that Tracy had hidden important emergency info, the way she treated me like free labor, not family. I didn't whine. I didn't exaggerate. I just laid it all out. There was a long silence. Then my mom said, "We're so sorry, Matt. We had no idea it was that bad." Turns out Tracy had also asked them for money while in Hawaii. Claimed she needed it because Matt wasn't helping enough. When they heard my side, they were furious. At her. Not at me. That's when things started spiraling for Tracy. Mom called Tracy and told her flat out that she owed me an apology. That she was way out of line treating me like that. That next time, she could pay for a professional babysitter. Dad, usually quiet about family stuff, backed Mom up. Said Tracy had always been a little entitled, but this crossed the line. Word got around the family. My aunts. My uncles. Even my cousins. Tracy, the golden child, was getting called out publicly for the first time in her life. And all because she couldn't resist treating me like a servant. Meanwhile, Tracy's problems at home got worse. The smart home system took weeks to fix. The laundry was so scrambled they ended up losing 3 bags of dry cleaning because the claim ticket was also hidden by accident when I stuffed papers randomly. Joel's Netflix obsession meant he spent hours trying to reset accounts before finally having to call customer support and explain everything. Small thing after small thing. Each one driving her crazier. Each one reminding her she wasn't in control. But the best twist? 3 weeks later, Tracy called my parents again. Begging them to help pay for a professional organizer. Because the house is a disaster and I can't find anything. She didn't dare call me. She knew better. And my parents, for the first time in my life, said no. Mom even told her, maybe if you treated people better, you wouldn't have these problems. Sweetest words I ever heard. After that call, Tracy stopped reaching out to me. She knew she couldn't win. She knew everyone knew. But that wasn't the true end. Not yet. About a month later, I got a certified letter in the mail. It was from Tracy. Inside was a 2-page, handwritten letter. At first, I thought maybe it would be an apology. Something real. Something human. Nope. It was 2 pages of blame. She blamed me for ruining her home. Humiliating her in front of the family. Causing stress in her marriage. Making her kids cry. Being selfish and petty. At the bottom, she demanded I fix what I broke by paying for a professional organizer and tech consultant. The cost? Over $2,400. She even attached an itemized bill. She was serious. I sat there for a full minute just staring at it. Then I laughed so hard I had to sit down. After all the free babysitting. After all the extra cleaning. After her hiding my plane ticket like a psycho. She actually thought I owed her $2,400. I didn't reply to the letter. Instead, I did something better. I scanned the letter, the bill, and the envelope. I sent copies to my parents, and to a few key family members who already knew the story. No angry message. No rant. Just the files. The family group chat exploded. Aunt Patty, she wants him to pay after flying across the country for free? Uncle Lou, tell her to take a hike. Cousin Jenna, Tracy's lost her mind. My parents? Called me laughing so hard I thought they were drunk. My mom said, if you even think about sending her a dime, you're grounded. Dad added, "You should bill her for pain and suffering." Tracy ended up getting publicly shamed again. Word spread through the family like wildfire. No one was on her side. Joel, who had mostly stayed out of it, ended up moving out 6 months later. I don't know if my revenge caused that. Probably not just me. Joel had to be seeing who she really was. But the timing? Suspicious. As for me, I learned something important. I made a mistake flying out there. I made a mistake trusting Tracy to be decent. I should have drawn firmer lines. I should have protected myself earlier. But even so, I don't regret how I handled it in the end. I didn't scream. I didn't fight. I didn't destroy. I let her drown in the mess she created. I let her show everyone who she really was. And best of all, I never said a single word in anger. Not one. Today, a year later, Tracy and I are completely no contact. She still tries to pull family members into her drama now and then. They don't take the bait. She's still the same Tracy. But me? I'm different. I don't carry guilt for her anymore. I don't owe her anything. She made her choices. She built her life. And now she has to live in it. Quiet revenge is the sweetest kind.